Due to technical difficulties, there will be no video on this devotion. Today on Running to Him, politicians are responsible for looking out for our welfare. Well, if you're joining us in going through the books of Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther, today's reading is Esther 10, and we'll concentrate on verse 3. 10:3 says, For Mordecai the Jew was second only to King Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and in favor with many of his kinsmen, and one who sought the good of his people, and who spoke for the welfare of his whole nation. Now, what is the one role that a politician has in life? Is it being reelected? Is it retiring with a large pension? Is it spending much of their adult life in power? Now, as the advertisement says, none of the above. A politician's role is to look out for the welfare of those he or she is serving. Our founding fathers recognized this and never envisioned a political class that would rule, such as was the case in England. Now, over the years, a position in Congress or the Senate has become viewed as a permanent role until that person leaves on their own accord. A current presidential candidate has spent almost 50 years in some form of federal elective service. He has become wealthy and unaware of the needs of the people he's supposed to serve. Mordecai spent the rest of his life looking out for the welfare of the nation. He viewed his role as one that lifted up the people of the kingdom rather than the ruling class. He sought out the good of everyone, not just those who were important. Now, a lack of caring is evident in many of our politicians. They seek to make excuses or blame others rather than looking out for the welfare of others. How can this change? How important is it to change? Well, George Orwell was an English author in the 20th century. He wrote several books, but his two most famous books were 1984 and Animal Farm. Animal Farm addressed politicians and society. 1984 addressed governmental concerns. Both books are incredibly applicable to today's political environment. In Animal Farm, the animals revolt, and they write 7 statements concerning animals and animal behavior. The 7th statement reads, all animals are equal. By the end of the book, everything has changed, and they were down to one rule. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Now our Declaration of Independence and the Constitution proclaimed the 7th rule as first written. Yet, due to human nature, it has failed to be fully implemented or instituted, and for over 150 years we've been working on that implementation, but our work is being held up by the ruling class. They prefer conflict rather than peace. Conflict allows them to remain as the ruling class. Paul writes in Philippians 2:3 that we are to honor others more significant than ourselves. He also writes that in Romans chapters 14 and 15 that we serve each other by looking out for one another rather than judging each other's spirituality. Now, Mordecai looked out for everyone. Haman looked out for himself. Are you a Haman or are you a Mordecai? Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. If you listen to us on Facebook or YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. You can always email us at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.